It's like a game of baseball. The first thing you have to do is know where the strike zone is. And then secondly, try to understand the nature of the beast. Is it a call strike? Is it a, strike on the corners? Is it down the middle? Is it a fastball? Is it a curveball? What's the count? Men on base, whatever. All those are the variables that come into play. And the same thing happens, obviously, in trading. Because one trade does not live alone, independent of other trades and other ideas. So looking at it with a little bit deeper perspective, we can see how important yesterday's high, RTH high, is. So that's violated, right? So that's broken. These traders are still in it. And I'd said this morning, don't be too quick to dismiss the short side, like we're just going to run and get out of Dodge. This is normal to get this kind of a bounce and then come back and fill as the 2-day range gets resolved. That's very normal. So we've made a lower low and we've made a lower high, and until that dynamic changes, the rest of it's just range trading. Take care, Jason. All right, be well. Yesterday we had pretty good volume. Over 2 million, I noted. Today we've got, 1.2 already. We've got end of the month. Got a couple of days worth. You don't quite have a 40% bounce yet from that last swing. So I guess the real key is going to be how much do we backtrack in terms of a retracement. So the key, in my opinion, is this 32 zone for now. That's got to hold for the long side to keep squeezing, trap and squeeze. And the first bar looks like everybody wanted to buy that the open first 2 bars. And actually, well, no, the low got taken out, so this is the right place for the for the angel. So our magnet in here at 35, we got to assume that this is a is a balanced position, and we could have a multi-day bear flag building. But it's hard to just dismiss the short side categorically after one day. Yesterday was a big, solid down day. The problem in those big, solid down days is sometimes because it's so skewed in one direction, it skews it for a bias for the next day to be more of a bounce because of that stolen range. So in a 2-day stolen range, we've already used up a lot of that range the prior day. And then that, point or so lower low is the one that gets everybody. And that's why you want to always keep an eye on the prior day's low. Because then you can put that into perspective. And at the time, obviously much harder as you're bouncing in here. But subsequently, like me, if I come in later, it's much easier to see that relationship and say, okay, yeah, they got them. And then came out the top too. So we had said originally this 42 zone, just like we did yesterday, 42 to 44. So that zone is intact for now and still resistance. And the first time back, you'll tend to reject it. But then on subsequent attempts, it will try to take that out and rotate above it. So as long as that's here and falling away from it, fine. But the minute we start to make that bear flag, the more these traders are going to say, uh-oh, I don't want to lose what I had. So let me scratch those position trades. Anyways, this is the best way I know of to identify that lower low 1, 2, 3. Just put your line right here. Prior day's low, and then above it, okay, we're bouncing. That's pretty good, Zeke. I like what you're saying. So you're saying this is a red herring with all this the fact that the Obamacare has not worked, and the fact that obviously we have fundamental problems with the economy. So divert attention. Okay, I understand completely what you're saying, and I don't disagree. Got a crisis, America. We all need to pull together. Yeah, and that's coming. Well, there are intelligent people in the world like you who see through it, thankfully. 60 chart is the resistance chart. Note where the support's coming in here. This 33.75 was a key marker. It still is. That won't go away. So let's understand that 33.75 zone for what it is. All right, first sign that we've got a big boy in this trade is coming into this 34 to 33.75. So we know that this was the right level for not only profit taking, but the big boys agreed, okay, if you're taking them, we're gonna be hitting you as you're taking them. So anybody that's taken the scalp short, a reminder, we said possible megaphone. We didn't say the megaphone had to come all the way back through and take out the lows. Said make a lower low and could make a higher high. And so far that's been done. So keep your eye on this 33 zone. Pretty important. Go back to a 5. And back to rain. So with this pattern, really need to contain the bounces now, if you like the short side. 38.25 is the demon. And then if that breaks the 32, then any of these little supports here, but the primary one is this 28. You can see it.